It's been a busy third quarter 2015 for companies affected by the SEC rule for Dodd-Frank Conflict Minerals. The DC Circuit Court released a decision, the GAO released their annual report, and customers and stakeholders are making their expectations known, and they're wanting more every year. That's why I decided to publish a white paper taking an enterprise risk management approach to all of the developments to help companies chart their course through all these developments this year and do the right thing for their conflict minerals program. Let's consider the three really quickly. The Circuit Court decision left intact their decision last year. The major issue involved freedom of speech, and companies are not required to say they are not found to be DRC conflict free if that's where their evidence leads them. Companies are not forced to say something that could be perceived to be negative about themselves. The decision quotes Mark Twain and Charles Dickens, and it makes for pretty good reading. And if you're not interested, I suggest you find one of many summaries that law firms and other resources have put down on this decision. The GAO report was released coincidentally the same day. It had three objectives, and most interesting to me was objective number 3, where the auditors were supposed to find out if the rule is having any effect on the ground in the Democratic Republic of Congo or the region. They found 3 studies published since their last audit, and 2 of them showed statistically significant differences in the reported rates of violence, and both of them were to the positive, showing that the rule is having an effect. In third quarter 2015, customers, NGOs, and others are making their expectations known for conflict minerals. Everybody's asking for the conflict minerals reporting template, or the CMRTs, and they're requesting that the suppliers show significant progress towards being conflict-free. Some customers are requiring their suppliers to show DRC conflict-free. Customers are asking for evidence, for support, for processes. NGOs are asking for expectations for how the companies are going to improve their programs. So there's a lot happening in third quarter. And there's a lot we don't know. We don't know what customers will do if you cannot show that you are conflict-free. We don't know what NGOs will do. We don't know how people are looking at these reports. We also don't know a lot about what SEC will do. There have been questions about how SEC will pursue enforcement for Dodd-Frank Conflict Minerals, or whether they will pursue enforcement. We don't know if SEC will reopen the rule, whether they'll publish additional guidance such as FAQs. And so it's in the midst of all this that companies must navigate their way. Now, I'd like to suggest a scenario and make a couple observations that are covered in my white paper. Now, the CMRTs are published to customers. They're not intended to be on public record. The SEC filings are public record. So suppose that your company has Acme as a major customer, and you generate a CMRT that shows DRC conflict-free for Acme. Acme submits their SEC filing and says, "We are DRC conflict-free." Acme puts it in their marketing literature. And what happens if your company doesn't believe they have enough evidence to show they're DRC conflict-free? Or your company elects to make no conclusions in your SEC filing? Your company may indicate, whether you know it or not, that Acme is a big customer of yours through 10K filings, through marketing literature, or through trade journals, any place like that. Someone could connect the dots and see that that doesn't quite line up. I will also offer that many regulatory agencies collect some of their largest fines and penalties for failure to report. This is true for EPA, it's true for SEC, it's true for many government entities. In second quarter of 2015, the SEC collected a $12 million penalty from BlackRock for failing to disclose a conflict of interest. That was just for failure to disclose. That was not for any harm caused by the conflict of interest. So let's go back to my scenario. If your customer says they're DRC conflict free and you did not, the SEC could wonder what you're holding back from them and why you haven't disclosed. So that's one example of a scenario where a risk situation could trump what the law says you can or don't have to do. So I encourage you to go to my website, dfcmaudit.com, and download the white paper. It's free. It'll guide you through an enterprise risk management approach for how you process everything that's coming at you and navigate your course for a successful program and a successful IPSA. Thank you for tuning in for this tip. I hope you found it helpful. Please feel free to contact me for more information.